everyone. Welcome back to Jikook Universe. A quiet constellation where small glances become poetry, where silence carries meaning, and where love never needs to be spoken to be understood. Here we do not chase noise or spectacle. We do not search for rumors or dramatic confessions. Instead, we slow down, listening to the language of hearts that speak softly. Tonight we return to a moment that seemed ordinary on the surface, yet quietly held something unforgettable within it. BTS OT7 Weverse Live, January 16, 2026. 7 members gathered in warmth and laughter, sharing stories, teasing one another, existing not as idols, but as home. And yet for those who watched closely, another story was unfolding beneath the surface. Gentle, steady, unmistakable. A story told through a gaze. A story shaped by silence. A story written in the way Jungkook looked at Jimin, as if love itself had finally found a visible form. Take a slow breath. Let the world fade for a moment, and step into this universe, where hearts speak without words. That night the atmosphere felt soft and familiar. No bright stage lights, no rehearsed smiles. Only authenticity, warmth, and quiet connection. Jungkook sat close to Jimin, not in a way that demanded attention, but in a way that felt natural, as if distance had never been an option between them. Every time Jimin laughed, Jungkook turned first. Not out of habit, but instinct. There was always a brief pause, as though Jungkook needed to witness that moment personally, to confirm the happiness, to hold on to the sound, to remember that smile as something sacred. His gaze was soft, unrushed, unfiltered. It wasn't the look of admiration anymore. It was something deeper. The kind of gaze that only forms after years of shared silence, shared storms, shared healing. When Jimin spoke, Jungkook listened completely. His body leaned subtly toward him. His shoulders angled in quiet devotion. Even when laughter erupted around them, even when voices overlapped and jokes filled the air, Jungkook's attention always found its way back. Like gravity returning home. There was a moment, small, almost invisible, when Jimin laughed freely at something Jin said, his head tilting back slightly, his eyes crinkling with pure, unguarded joy. And Jungkook watched him. Not with excitement, not with performance, but with a quiet smile. Slow, warm, deeply familiar. A smile meant for no one else. A smile reserved for someone who feels like home. That wasn't the gaze of a teammate. That was the gaze of someone who knows every version of another soul. The tired one, the quiet one, the vulnerable one, the radiant one. A gaze that whispered, "I see you always." When Jimin casually rested his hand on Jungkook's arm mid-conversation, Jungkook didn't flinch, didn't move away, didn't break the moment. He let the touch stay, just a heartbeat longer than necessary. As if it anchored him, as if it was something familiar enough to feel like breathing. Love rarely announces itself loudly. It reveals itself through presence. And that night, Jungkook's presence wrapped around Jimin, like something quiet but unshakable. When Jimin paused mid-sentence, Jungkook glanced at him, checking in. When Jimin smiled shyly, Jungkook mirrored the expression, effortlessly. No words passed between them, yet everything was understood. "I'm here." At one point Jimin leaned back slightly, a hint of tiredness beneath his gentle smile. Without drawing attention, Jungkook adjusted his posture, creating space, offering comfort. The movement was subtle, almost invisible. But that is where truth lives, in gestures too natural to perform. Their love did not seek recognition. It simply existed. Steady, patient, quietly undeniable. Throughout the live, no one said the words, "I love you." Yet Jungkook spoke them endlessly. Through softened eyes, through quiet smiles, through the way his laughter followed Jimin's rhythm. They have grown side by side. They have carried weight no one else could fully understand. Time has reshaped them, but it has never changed the way Jungkook looks at Jimin. If once his gaze carried youthful wonder, now it holds certainty, a calm assurance that only comes when the heart has chosen and refuses to waver. On January 16, 2026, their love did not shout. It whispered, and because of that it felt real. Not built on dramatic moments, but on routine, on comfort, on staying. As the live neared its end and goodbyes began, Jungkook looked at Jimin once more. A brief glance. A quiet exchange, yet full of meaning. As if saying, "We're still here." And Jimin, knowingly or not, answered with a small, gentle smile, the kind only given when someone feels safe beyond explanation. The world may have seen seven figures on screen, but those who watched with their hearts saw something else entirely. A love story unfolding quietly in the background. A story that does not need validation. A story that grows strongest in silence. Jungkook and Jimin, two hearts moving in the same rhythm, finding each other again and again, without ever needing to search. That night proved one simple truth. Their love has not faded with time. It has matured. It has softened. It has become real. Visible in the smallest detail. The way Jungkook looks at Jimin, as if the world could change endlessly, yet his heart never would. And so, without confession, without spectacle, that night left something unforgettable behind. In BTS OT7 Weverse Live, January 16, 2026. Their love did not ask to be believed. It was felt. Jungkook's gaze toward Jimin was not coincidence. It was home. A place he returns to. When the world becomes too loud, too heavy, too uncertain, the world may continue to question. Doubt may always exist. But those who see with their hearts know this. Real love does not demand proof. It lives in presence, in care, in the quiet decision to remain. Thank you for walking with us through Jikook Universe. Thank you for feeling, not just watching. And if your heart felt warmer tonight, if that gentle gaze stayed with you longer than expected, stay with us. Because in this universe, Jungkook and Jimin's story will always find its way back home.